It felt like I guess the best player, most notable player was Travis Hunter. The second most notable player was Shedeur Sanders. Those were the two guys who were talked about the most. Shedeur, for not being drafted, got a lot of airtime. And he talked about not being selected in the first round.
We all didn't expect this, of course, but I feel like with God, anything possible, everything possible. I don't feel like this happened, for no reason. All this is, of course, fuel to the fire. And under no circumstance, we all know this shouldn't have happened. But we understand we're on the bigger and better things. Tomorrow's the day. We're going to be happy regardless. Legendary.
All right. Did you see his draft room? He's got legendary all over. It's as if that's his wallpaper. It says legendary all over his room. All over, everywhere. They got legendary wallpaper there. He got humbled yesterday. He did. And if you'll go back to when we had Dion on, when we were at the Super Bowl, it was like, are you telling teams to not draft your son? And, there was a whole big deal about he's not going to go play for those teams. Is he going to pull an Eli Manning? But he got humbled, although DraftKings just gave me the odds here. And the team that has the best odds to draft Shedeur Sanders is the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Raiders are second, and then you have the Saints. Steelers, a distant fourth, tied with the Jets and the Rams there. Yes, Todd?
To what extent was that arrogant, brash rumor thing, you think, a factor in him not getting picked in the first round versus that these teams just didn't want him in round one?
What do you think?
I think it did have a little bit of a factor. I think there were a few teams that were considering him, and that might have been the deciding factor if they thought he had some kind of arrogance to him, that he might not be good in the locker room. Then just, let's move on to somebody else.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I know that, we've had these anonymous GMs or, scouts who have said that about him. I was just told he didn't have a first-round grade. Late yesterday in the show, Scout said, I don't have a first-round grade. And he didn't waver off of this. This is also the same person who said that he thinks a lot of the guys who do mock drafts were worried about, in his words, the smoke from not putting Shedeur Sanders in the first round, getting that smoke from Dion. And I think that maybe people put him in there because, well, it's going to drive traffic to your mock draft. If you don't have Shedeur in the first round, we're in the entertainment business. Now, whether that's true or not, this is from a scout saying that he think a lot of the guys who do mock drafts put him in there just out of respect for Deion Sanders. Now, I've said this before on the show. I had him third on my Heisman ballot. I had Ashton Genty, I had Travis Hunter, and then I had Shedeur. I thought that much of him. The one thing that kept coming back that I kept hearing was when you play in the NFL, you process so much quicker, and that's going to be a challenge for him and Cam Ward and Jackson Dart, whoever it is. A lot of these guys play in a system that is really catered to making a lot of plays, completing a lot of passes. Shedeur was taking a lot of punishment, but, my friend who's a scout said he holds on to the ball too long. Caleb Williams held on to the ball too long, and you saw what happened to him in his rookie year. Can Shedeur play in the NFL? I believe that. Do I think he's a star? I don't. But I had great respect for what he did at Colorado.